Welcome back to What TV, y'all. Thank you for locking in. It's your boy Ace. Thank you for tapping in again. Tap in, tap in, tap in. Listen, guys, I hope your day is going well. But man, we have some announcements because I got to tell you guys, we've been covering this migrant story, but we will be getting into some good stuff real soon. However, as we still keep our attention focused on what's going on throughout communities throughout the United States, we want to tap in and lock in New York right now. Because if you don't know, there's been a lot of migrants going on, man, throughout New York City. And some of these migrants, they have been reluctant to want to use and stay in some of these shelters. They're trying to find a footing and an identity in the city and see what's their next move. So, a couple of these migrants decided to house in one location, a store location, basement and storefront. This was about 70, 80 migrants staying there at one time in shifts. This happened in Queens, New York, and the city found out about this, and they moved in to shut this down quickly. However, we have another incident in New York where yet again there was another attack by a migrant on a security guard. Guess what, people? You're not gonna believe this. Yes, this is the same shelter that we just saw last week. The police officers had problems restraining people and asked security to protect them. What? Things that make you go, what, people? Let's just jump into this story because I think a game changer is finally about to come. And What TV has been calling for this to happen. Let's just jump into the story and let me know your thoughts.
Now, inspectors have discovered dozens of people living inside a building in Queens.
Yeah, Richard Giacobas is outside of that home in South Richmond Hill with more on this. Richard, what do we know?
Well, this is actually a furniture store, Chris and Bianca, and what building inspectors tell us was this: there were at least 14 bunk beds and more than a dozen other beds occupying both the cellar and first floor of that store. The building owner tells us he was housing migrants here, migrants who have now been vacated by that building department. We're going to show you some cell phone video from that furniture store owner who shows what these conditions look like in that cellar. You can see dozens of people in the...
Wait. What? Do you see how many people? I mean, they had their own bunker. They were ready for the end of day.
Beds appearing as if they're waking up. Neither the Department of Buildings nor the FDNY are saying who was living in these tight quarters. Both officials did confirm that they did fully vacate the building, both the first floor and the cellar where these people were sleeping, and an investigation is now underway. In that cellar, the FDNY says there was no ventilation. There wasn't any natural light. The Department of Buildings has slapped the landlord with 2 violations. We spoke to the owner of this furniture store again, who told us he was housing these migrants willingly inside the building. He says he brought the people living here in to give them work. We also spoke with a neighbor who did not want to show her face on camera. She claims she's been calling 311 for weeks about the amount of people living here and the number of e-bikes that she's been seeing in the building's backyard.
How many people? About 74 people.
And where were they staying?
They were staying in the store because the store...
This is the store owner, y'all, and he looks to be Muslim, and he mentioned, they had space to just lay down and pray. So it looked like he took some Muslim migrants in, just trying to provide them with a space to shelter rather than going to Randall's Island or the plush hotel down in New York City called Roosevelt Hotel.
Oh, it's a big space. It's a big space. So we have bunk beds, you know, queen bunk beds, some of the twin bunk beds, just to make a space, you know, for everybody to fit, and we can have space to pray.
One day morning, I come outside, I see bikes in the back. That's when I got alarmed. When I saw the e-bikes, and then all over the news, you see that these e-bikes are exploding and they lighten up the whole block. Like nobody's safety he was concerned about.
Wow. Wow. Now, for the story out in Randall's Island, we're going to see yet again there was another attack on a security guard. This is the second or third attack on a security guard at Randall's Island. Mayor Adams plans to go there in a couple of days, and we will be giving you an update on that. New York City, let me know how you're feeling. Tap in with us. We're here with you because I think something's coming finally that's going to inject some change. Let's get into it.
2 people were arrested after yet another fight breaks out at the Randall's Island shelter.
Fox 5's Morgan Mackay joins us now in studio. And Morgan, the mayor planning to take some major action in response to this latest accident.
Steve and Natasha, at least 2 migrants were arrested and charged yesterday after a fight broke out at the Randall's Island migrant shelter. But this comes as Mayor Eric Adams is also pushing for changes to the sanctuary city laws that would allow the NYPD to turn migrants accused of a crime over to ICE.
What? Yes, y'all. I want y'all to hear that again. That to me is a huge, huge game changer. One that What TV and Nicole Malliotakis, a senator, Republican senator of New York, has called for. New York, we're with you. Because if you don't know, many of these migrants have been committing crimes and they could just walk out the next day. So if you ever question and wonder to yourself, how the heck can police officers be shot at and beaten and people be released the next day? Illegal migrants who could just run off. Didn't we see that some of them fled to Arizona and different parts of the country? The reason why that happened is because typically ICE would interject and pick these people up. But New York made moves that doesn't allow them to communicate with ICE or turn over these migrants to ICE unless they've been convicted. Things that make you go what, man? Things that make you go what? But I do think this is a big, big, huge game changer for New York, which they should be talking about more and push it more. New York, tap in. Pay attention, New York. Push Mayor Adams to push this through. This is a big deal. Game changer. They're over here focusing on metal detectors. What TV? We went to New York. We already seen that metal detectors ain't gonna work. Somebody tap in and let them know. But we'll get to that also, just in case you haven't seen our previous video.
Sanctuary city laws that would allow the NYPD to turn migrants accused of a crime over to ICE.
You don't have to be a behavioral scientist to state that we're creating a terrible environment.
Mayor Eric Adams says the city is installing metal detectors at the migrant shelter on Randall's Island, and he's planning a visit to the site after another fight broke out at the shelter Monday night. According to the NYPD, a 23-year-old migrant struck a security guard in the face, causing a scuffle. 2 migrants were placed under arrest and charged, but this marks the 3rd violent incident to occur at the shelter in just the last several months. Adams again renewed his call to the White House to give migrants faster access to work papers.
You place 1,000 people in one setting and tell them they can't work. All they can do is sit around all day. tempers flare.
Listen, y'all. Y'all see this lady's her face? She's like, yeah, what y'all want us to do? Look at her face. Look at her face.
All they can do is sit around all day. Tempers flare.
Adams is...
Yo, let's run that back. Look at her
Sit
face.
around all
She must have told Mayor Adams, listen, get this done right now.
day. Tempers flare.
Adams is also making it clear that he wants to make changes to the sanctuary city laws. Under Mayor Ed Koch and Mayor Michael Bloomberg, the NYPD was allowed to alert ICE when a migrant was accused or arrested for allegedly committing crimes. However, now migrants are only passed along to ICE if they have been convicted of a crime. Immigration advocates are staunchly against this change, and Council Speaker Adrienne Adams says she has no plans of introducing anything like this legislatively. But Adams says migrants accused of committing multiple robberies should not be allowed to wait here while their case plays out.
They didn't give due process to the person that they shot or punched or killed. We can't have these small number of migrants and asylum seekers that have identified that they're going to be dangerous, hide under the law.
An audit by the city comptroller was also released on Tuesday that showed the city has been overcharged at times for migrant services due to the city procuring no-bid contracts.
What we're calling for now is to go through a procurement process that would make sure we get the most competitive price for all these services.
Adams defended the contracts on Tuesday, saying they did the best they could at the time when these contracts were inked.
Because of our response, no child, no family sleeps on the streets of the city of New York.
Now, Adams says he also did not meet with the president during his trip to the city, but emphasized the need for President Joe Biden to issue some sort of executive order that would limit border crossings and create a decompression strategy. Steve,
Wow. Wow. Let us know your thoughts, people. Should these migrants, when they commit crimes, should they be then turned over to ICE immediately? Because that would deter some of the things that's going on. Migrants hate to deal with ICE because ICE ain't playing. We've seen how one of the men was able to commit a murder, then skip down to Arizona. People were able to beat up cops, ditch and go out of town. Picked up again in Arizona. I think New York, tap in with us. You need to put pressure on Mayor Adams to get this done, New York, because he's out there holding press conferences about metal detectors. One that you see. This is the location that they're trying to put metal detectors. But what TV? We're different than the rest, man. We are different than the rest. We went down there personally, and we already told everybody, metal detectors won't work. What you're seeing right now is a gentleman scaling over the fences back into the migrant shelter. We're gonna run it a little bit for you. Mayor Adams, tap in. We the best news reaction show. Tap in with us. This is what it is, guys. See the guys there, he was looking around, left and right. Come in, see some of the tents. I fucking just fell. There he goes after looking left and right. The person passes, he decides to scale it back over the fence. Look at the guy. He can have anything on him. Climbing over to get back in. And they say metal detectors. They're holding press conferences about metal detectors. Doing his thing. What TV? We did the work. Again. Come in. See some of the tents. I fucking just fell. Metal detectors won't work. What TV? We the best. Look at the guy. He's climbing over to get back in. Doing his thing. We the best. Mayor Adams, tap in with us. Listen, guys, let us know your thoughts. Should New York City be pushing to put these laws in place to allow ICE to interject and work with NYPD? Come on, man. We need safer streets. We see migrants is doing whatever, man. They have no respect for authority. Our police is being shot and beaten on 42nd Street, where they dropped the ball. Come on, y'all. Tap in. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. And again, we will have some entertainment coming. We will have some entertainment coming.